Got a little more wiring done. We look in there. We've inserted the other filter caps, wired those in. We've got some of the pots in now. We've started to begin to put in the B+ string dropping resistors. Right now we've got 3 10Ks just tacked in there. We're going to play, once we get the amp up and running, we're going to play around with this to get the optimal voltages where we want them. We have our grounds here for the 3 filter caps that are going to be used for the preamp, isolated from the mains filter cap and headed over to our, this is going to be our main ground point for the preamps. So we have right here the base, or rather the middle controls, ground lug, grounded at this point, as well as the filter caps. This tag strip right here will be for the filter capacitor and, or rather cathode bypass capacitor and cathode resistors for V1. We've got a tag strip here as well that'll be useful for mounting the tone control, tone stack capacitors, the 0.02, 0.02, that 500, and 0.00, what was it, 0.002 or was it 0.003? I think it was 0.002. Anyway, that'll all be mounted here and expanded out to the pots. So that's all looking good right now. Next, we're going to add the tube sockets and a few more tag strips onto those tube sockets, and then we'll continue going. So I'm going to get back to doing that, and we'll be back in a minute. So we've been wiring for a good while longer. Show you the progress that's been made on it so far. So we have, this is V1A and B of the Jose circuit. We have the plate taken care of here, running to the pot. We've got our capacitor, our plate resistor. We have our cathode network all built out up here, the 0.68s, the 2K7s, all on this tag strip right here. We have on the other side V1B, our 0.002, our plate resistor underneath that, built out straight to the potentiometer right here. And that's sort of how this is all going to go. We're going to do, you know, a very short, compact, you know, flying lead circuit. And it should sound really good. So I'm going to keep going on this and start building out more of the circuit and keep you up to date as to what's going on there. More time has elapsed. We've done a little bit more wiring here. We installed another terminal strip here to run the cathodes for the cathode follower, the cathode resistor, the cathode bypass cap. We finished up the wiring of V1A and B in terms of making the circuit, the Jose circuit here. We have the preamp circuit, right? That was the one that was on the push-pull. Now we have the associated secondary gain stage, which would be the bright channel with the 4700 puff bright capacitor there. We still have our tag strip to fill out for the tone stack. We have our 470K resistors, our 500 puff bypass on the 470K heading into the cathode follower. Got our little lead right here for the heaters. So I think at this point it's time to get back to wiring and to start maybe even wiring up our potentiometer, our Jose potentiometer, with all the goodies that it needs, and go ahead and throw that in. We can also go ahead and wire up the tone controls, and then we're pretty much getting close to the home stretch. We'll be able to demo this piece of gear through the Marshall and through the Ox, or through the 2 Notes Cab M. So stick around. So we got some more progress on the preamp. We filled out the tone stack. We have our treble capacitors, 2.02s, the slope resistor back here. We've got the beginnings of the Jose circuit right here. We've got the 10K, the 0.22, all basically leaded out, ready to go on to the double pull, double throw master. Probably have a good another maybe hour, hour and a half, 2 hours worth of wiring to get it together. We've got to do the input jack, the output jack, bring everything to the master, put the diodes on there, the heaters, and then we're done. So I'm going to get back at it and keep going. All right, so after it's probably 6-7 hours worth of work in total, from the layout, chassis work, building it out, wiring it all up. We're done. We've got our input jack wired in, the whole preamp circuit coming through, the preamp 1, preamp 2, cascaded. You got the cathode follower, the tone stack. Over here we have the whole Jose master, the associated capacitor and resistor, the compliance resistor. The diodes are in, our output jack is connected, our heater wires are lined up, our power supply is all good. So the last thing we're going to do basically is test it and try to get our voltages for the cathode follower and for the preamp where we want them, accurate to a Marshall, to a Jose Marshall. And then we're going to tube it up and we're going to demo it out. So I think that's enough for today. It's Saturday night. It's about 8:30, and I'm ready to go eat something and hang out for the rest of the night. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll test out this thing and give it a test drive.